Hey pals, welcome to Frame and Fiber. My name is Paige Miller and I'm so glad you're here. I'm also known as Paige the Framer on Instagram and Ravelry. So if you're not already following me in those places, come join me. So I'm coming to you from Frame and Fiber, which is my frame shop and yarn shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. So if you ever find yourself in this area, pop on by. The shop is open Thursdays and Fridays, 12 to 5, and on Saturdays, 10 to 2. The rest of the week I am working, but I'm closed to the public. So it's also, Frame and Fiber is also the name of this YouTube channel, and I am super glad you're here and that you made your way here. If you're new, I'd love for you to comment below and introduce yourself. What would I like to say about this channel? Most of everything that you'll see on this channel is frame and fiber related. So you'll see lots of picture framing, all this behind me. And then you'll also see lots of fiber arts, knitting, crocheting, weaving, spinning, embroidery, cross stitch. Is that it? I think that's it. Who knows? I'm always adding to it. And I'm assuming that maybe you found me because you are a fiber artist. So thanks for being here with me. If you've been with me for a while, you know that in the past I've also shown some videos here with gardening or vacations and hiking. And I wanted to let you know that I'm starting a new channel for all of that content. I'm going to be moving it to a different channel. That channel is going to be called, I think this is funny and you can probably already guess it. It's going to be called Paige the Farmer. No, I'm not a farmer. I'm a wannabe. I love gardening. I have in the past 4 years, 3 years with chickens, 4 years with my garden. In the past 4 years, I have changed my backyard significantly. So I started sharing a lot of that here, and I think that's just too much different content for one channel. So that will be moving over to Paige the Farmer. Just to confuse you. So please, check that out. I'm telling you guys this now. That channel won't be live until I'm home from my vacation in Lake George. Well, not in Lake George. We're going to be in Hague, New York, which is on the northwest side of the actual Lake George. So that channel will probably start up in the middle of August, but I just wanted to give you a heads up and let you know what's going on there. So in my last video, which was a chatty maker's journal, and I'd like to also let you know a little bit about that. So anytime I'm sitting here chatting with you where it's just talking about the things that I'm making, the things that I'm up to, I will call it a chatty journal. Or no, I won't. I will call it a maker's journal. And that's basically just this, chatting about the things that I've been making or the things that I'm liking or whatever. And then the other videos on this channel will be more topical. So sound good? Okay, cool. So in my last maker's journal, I chatted with you about the trunk show that I hosted for Allison of Daisy Lane Design. She was here last weekend with her bags. It was lovely to see her. Allison is a sewist and she makes all different types of bags, anywhere from knitting and crocheting and cross stitch bags to cash envelopes and budgeting, handbags, all kinds of interesting things. She's talented and she's lovely, and she used to live here in New Jersey, but then she moved back to Colorado. New Jersey to Colorado to New Jersey and then back to Colorado. And she worked here at Frame and Fiber with me for a while. So it was lovely to have her here. I thank all of you who came out to visit and buy some of her bags. It was lovely to sit and knit and chat with you. I also want to thank the several of you who so sweetly couldn't make it here because you don't live here. who decided to go to my Etsy store and purchase something to support and to be part of the fun. So thank you too. It was great. We had a great time. It was a very busy day because on Saturdays I'm also open to the public, so I had lots of picture framers come in. But it was pretty jolly. I didn't take any video or pictures. I wish I had so I could show you. But the ladies sat at the table and Allison had her wares out and it was lovely. So yeah, that was last weekend. It's the next morning and I realized I forgot to tell you something super important. I didn't write notes for this episode, so this is what you get. Okay. There's another trunk show coming up on July 30th. So not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So like 2 weeks from Saturday. July 30th. It's the Saturday after I get back from Lake George. I will be hosting a trunk show for Toad Hollow. Helen and Mary Beth, my crafty toads, our crafty toads, they will be at the shop on July 30th for a trunk show. I don't know the details of what they're bringing, but I mean, obviously they're bringing yarn. I'm not sure if they're bringing bags or fabric, so maybe go check out their channel and see, you know, what they're bringing. I have to go find out for myself. I can't wait. I like being surprised. But yes, they will be there. They will be there from 12 to 4. As I did with Allison's trunk show, we will be sitting and stitching as well. So it'll be a jolly, festive, sometimes boisterous time. So if you can make it, please come out. That is July 30th with Toad Hollow. If you have any questions about any of that, leave me a comment. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled Maker's Chat. Also, last weekend on the 9th of July, which was the trunk show, we kicked off the summer tea-along that I am hosting here at Frame and Fiber. It is a make-along, so you can knit or crochet a tank top, a bralette, a short sleeve like t-shirt, hence the summer tea along. So the participation has been pretty great so far. So many of you have joined me. Thank you so much. Yes, I think I've said this in the last video, but I did have this question. Yes, my arm just fell. Yes, double dipping is not only permitted, but encouraged. So if you've already started one for a different make-along, definitely join us. Whips are welcome. The caveat to whips being welcome is that the yarn that you're using in that whip had to have been bought at Frame and Fiber. Otherwise, whips don't count. That said, you don't have to use, if you're starting, right? If you're actually starting a project, casting on for the make along, you don't have to use Frame and Fiber yarn, but using Frame and Fiber yarn will get you an extra entry into the giveaway. And the giveaway, I decided, instead of picking out the yarn for you, will be a gift certificate to the frame shop. I always say the frame shop. It's a frame shop for 20 years, a yarn shop for 10 years. So it's a hard habit to break. Frame and Fiber gift card. There'll be 3 gift cards, a $90, $60, and $30 gift card. And thank you very much to a special anonymous sweetheart who donated the $60 gift card to the make along. So thank you very much, love. Okay, I said that anonymously because I wasn't sure if I should say who it was. So anyway, generosity is amazing and I love all of you out there. So yeah, those are the prizes. Everyone participating, you get an entry. If you are using Frame and Fiber yarn, you get an entry. Third entry, if you're using yarn that you, if you're using Quince & Co, specifically Kestrel, Sparrow, Wimbrel, and Willet. Those are cottons and linens from Quince & Co. You get an extra entry for that. And then the final entry is if you finished your project. So you could potentially have 4 chances to win one of those gift cards. Pretty cool, right? There are more details on a post on Instagram, and there's also, I'm so amazed with myself. There's also a post on my website, which is frameandfiber.com. If you go to the tab that says vlog, I don't know why I named it vlog. I think it's because for a while there it was just YouTube videos. It still says vlog. Maybe one day I'll change it. For now, that's what it says. And you'll see that I have not only these vlogs listed, but I also have my newsletters. So you can click on that and you can see the information for the knit along, the make along. So I wound up my yarn. I'm going to start this project. Actually, I'm going to start my swatch tonight. Oh, sorry. But I'm going to knit on it on my vacation in Lake George. I'm hoping to get a lot of knitting done. I don't know how much I'll get done because it's not just Paul Miller and I this time. We're bringing our nephew Jack with us, and Jack is 11. And he is my buddy, and he loves art, which is why I think I will have knitting time, because he'll draw and I'll knit. But we're going to be spending a lot of time on the boat and swimming and snorkeling and, you know, all the fun. So we'll see how much I get done this week. I am using Quince & Co. Sparrow. That's it, balled up. Actually, this is kind of funny. That's it caked up, I should say, right? Caked up. And then I had to ball it up because I broke my ball winder. So if you come into the shop and you want something wound, I cannot do it yet. I have to fix it. So I had to wind that one by hand. But here is what it looks like skeined up. So like I said, it is Quince & Co. Sparrow in the colorway Butternut. It's pretty perfectly butternut. It's like a grayish, yellowish, earthy yellow. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Okay, so that's the yarn I'm using. And I'm casting on, I had so many different ideas and so many different options, and I landed on this one because, what is the name of it? So it's by Elizabeth Judith. It's copyright 2021, so it's actually pretty current, which is pretty surprising for me. Do I have a picture of it? Okay, I didn't print out a picture of it. So it's just a basic tank. I say basic, but it's pretty high in the neck. A lot of the tank tops have really narrow straps here, and they have really low cut. And although, this is really funny, I'm wearing this top here, which is low cut for me. I'm pretty modest. And this is actually pretty, like when I look down, I can see cleavage. I don't think you guys can see it, but I can. And I don't like that. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I like tanks a lot, but I like them to be higher. Usually underneath this, I would have a tank top under it. Whatever. I left the house without it today. You don't need to know all that. I apologize. So I picked this one. Not only is it because the neck is high, although I should say the neck is high, but there's 2 necklines. So she specifically does a scoop neck at the front and then a round neck. So you can wear it either side, which I think is pretty cool. It's reversible. But then I also like it because the straps are pretty wide, and I am very large in the bust, and I wear mambo bras to keep myself contained. And so I have these like wide straps. And these wide straps need to be covered. And so I thought this would be really cool I thought this would be really cool. I told you who wrote the pattern. I didn't tell you the name of the pattern. I'm just a cheapskate too. I didn't print out the first page of the pattern. Okay, I have no idea the name of the pattern because I didn't print out the first page. It's by Elspeth Judith. I did say that already. I will put the title here. So that's what I am working on, or will be working on, for the summer tea along. I hope you will join us. Again, thank you for those of you who have already started your participation by posting pictures on Instagram. Did I say that part? Post your pictures on Instagram using the hashtag summer tea along. That's your entry into the prize drawing. Then you can take a picture, you know, take pictures, just take pictures and share it to Instagram. But yes, thank you to those of you who've shared already. Thank you to those of you who have purchased yarn for this knit along. I appreciate your business very much. I think we're gonna have a good time. Okay, so that is my future finished object. My unfinished, no, it's not finished. It's a whip. It's not even a whip. It's my future cast on. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you, should I show you this or that? Okay, we've discussed this in the past about me and my embroidery and designing and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I went ahead and had sent, uploaded a PDF to Spoonflower and had a drawing printed up on Spoonflower, which sounds like, great, I'm ready to go. I'm not ready to go. So I didn't think about this, but my drawings, right straight out of my sketchbook, are not pen and ink, they're just pen. They're pen sketches. And I have filled in so many of the little I've filled in so many of the spaces, either in, you know, black or in just like too much design, and you can't possibly stitch all that. And so I didn't think about that before I sent this off to Spoonflower, and this is what came back. Now the cool part, which is why I'm showing you this, is this was just a photograph that I took of my notebook, and this is what it looks like. So Spoonflower does a great job printing the drawing, the image of the drawing, onto the fabric. So that's exciting. Got a bunch of these. I think I had like 8 of them. Well, yeah, I had a fat quarter printed up and I can fit 4 on a fat quarter. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get 4 of these printed up because a few of you had said, oh, I'm interested in trying one out. So I thought, oh cool, then I will have these ready to go. But no, I can't, because you could stitch on this, and unless you don't mind the black showing, or unless you don't mind, or you're going to like cover it, like full cover it with like satin stitches, it's not going to work. Also, the way I do it myself is I use a photocopier and Sulky, which I will put a picture of it in here. It's an adhesive interface. That's not true. It's not true. It's not an interfacing. It's a Sulky is a sheet of dissolvable material that you can run through a photocopier and photocopy onto, or print as well, but I did a photocopy of my drawing, and that's how I do it. I then adhere that to the fabric, and then I stitch, and then I soak it, and all of that disappears, and so you don't see any of my drawing once it's been stitched. Well, I want the same for you guys, so I need to either redraw these, which I did a new drawing, one that's not so detailed. Details to come. I didn't bring the sketchbook with me today, so I can't show that to you. But I did do that drawing, so we will see about that. And then I thought, I wonder if there's a way to get my images like this that are printed on a bolt of fabric, or a fat quarter anyway, if that Sulky stuff comes on bolts, and can it be printed by Spoonflower? So I want to look into that. because that would be the best way, because then you could stitch your little hearts to your heart's content, and then you can soak it and everything disappears and it's just your stitches left. So, okay, so since we're talking about the embroidery, I showed it to you last week. I showed this to you finished, but now it's finally finished. And it's the big reveal. Did you just see the frame? Rats. I think I'm doing a big reveal, but maybe you just saw it. So this is it. Ready? 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 That's the frame I chose. And yes, this was not the fan favorite. The fan favorite was definitely the Handmade by Miles bright green, but I just couldn't do it. I had to stick to a budget. I have too many things going on right now, but I think it came out brilliantly. Had I washed it last time, so you can see I use museum glass. You can see that little bit of like a purpley teal reflection. But then when you look on it straight, you can't tell there's any glass there. Well, you can when a car drives by. There's some glass. But yeah, so this one I used that sulky stuff, that adhesive, and I soaked it and it came off. So that's what I want. Now I've seen other samplers. Seashore Sharon let me borrow one of her samplers just so I can use it as a reference for what I'm trying to do. And it's fabric that the lines are drawn on. They will not disappear, so you have to stitch over it. And so it seems like that's normal and acceptable. So maybe I just need to draw with a lighter pen, or maybe not take a photograph and send it to Spoonflower at 100%. Maybe I should do like 50% opacity. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's finished. So this is going into the county fair. I'm so excited. Okay, I have 2 entries. I think I told you all this already, right? Because I'm entering this into the county fair too. Yes, that's correct. You saw these last week finished, and this week you get to, not last week, last video. And now you get to see them finally finished. So this is going into the county fair. I don't think I showed you this frame, but I had a bit of this molding in the basement, like just enough. It was super, like this is small. It's an 8 by 8 square. This one is an 8.5 by 8.5 square. So I had just enough of this in the basement to frame. And I think it's so stinking perfect. I mean, hello, do you see this? Do you see that? Perfect. This might look familiar because if you've watched any of my other cross stitch videos, or if you've seen Rachel and Sue on Floss Toss show off any of their makes that I framed for them, I feel like you've seen this frame before, but either in black or like a iron color. I have it in, I think I have it in 4 different finishes. And so I thought this one was perfect. This looks kind of blue, doesn't it? And it mimics so perfectly. So this is going into county fair as well. This is going, I'm going to enter this into the graft counted cross stitch category. And then this one is going to be, or are they both? I don't think it says cross stitch. I think it's called just embroidery. It's like a blanket. And then this one's going to be entered into the original design category. So wish me luck, pals. Did I tell you last time that I wanted to enter a cabbage? So we have to bring everything to the fair. I think it's Monday, in 2 weeks. And the cabbage that I want to bring is just not going to make it. So, and I'm going to Lake George the week before, and so my veggies aren't going to be peak because I won't be at home to baby any of them. So it's just stitching being added. Isn't that great? I'm so excited. Remember last video I showed you a sample that a knitter knitted for the shop? I want to show you another sample. If I am making videos here, I want to remember to show you different samples because my knitters worked so hard to make them and they need to be shown off. So this is using, oh my gosh, what's it using? Green Mountain Spinnery Cotton Comfort. Cotton Comfort is a 20% organic cotton and an 80% American wool blend. And our friend Michelle, who is Mishy Knits on Instagram, and maybe Ravelry, she made I want to call it a cult classic, but it's not a cult classic. It is a tried and true classic pattern. Oh, I gotta snip that. Anyway, I just finished blocking it. This is called the Guernsey Wrap, designed by Jared Flood a bazillion years ago. I say a bazillion, it's probably like 15 years old, this pattern. Maybe 12 years old. I feel like this pattern was out before I started selling yarn at the shop, and that was 10 years ago. So it's at least 10 years old. This is one of the first patterns that I ever did when I taught myself how to knit. I was switching over from crochet. One of the first patterns that I ever did that was a little bit more complicated, right? Because of all the different stitch patterns. I knit it when Miller and I were on vacation. Oh gosh, I used Cascade 220 in one of their like stormy blue colorways. We rented a little tiny cottage on Lake Champlain in the middle of November. So it was super quiet. And I just drank wine and knit the entire time. And I worked on that. That was lovely. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Michelle, for making this for the shop. I just love it. I think it looks beautiful in the Cotton Comfort. And it blocked up beautifully. I love these big knits. I love using blocking wires to get them perfectly straight. So there you have it. The Guernsey Wrap. Yes, this yarn is available in my Etsy store. Oh, it almost slid off the table. One more thing to show you, which I wouldn't, so because I'm switching over to Paige the Farmer for my gardening and I'm going to use the term homestead, my homesteading, because that's the buzzword of choice right now to incorporate all of these things that I'm interested in, but I don't consider myself a homesteader. I just don't. But I mean, I am fermenting vegetables. So my friend Greg the Potter, aka Greg La Placa, you can find him on Instagram. Definitely go check him out because he's an incredible potter. His studio is behind my shop. So he rents the garage out back. He also is one of my friends from high school. We've known each other since we were, I don't know, 15, 16, somewhere in there. He is a very talented potter. Like when I say talented, I mean, he can make 50 mugs in an hour. And I know you're probably like, that's ridiculous. There's no way he can do that. He can, because he trained as a production potter with Row Pottery out in Wisconsin for years. So his stuff is like, it's amazing. This is Americana, right? Like he makes all of the old traditional pieces that people look for, like berry bowls and fermenting crocks. He's just the coolest. French butter dishes. Oh my gosh, he's very cool. So if you are someone who likes to ferment and would like to find out about fermenting crocks, contact him because maybe he could make you one. You know what he should do is he should pre-order them. And once he gets like 25 people interested, he could make 25 to fill his, I think he likes to fill a kiln. So he won't make one at a time, but he'll make 40 at a time. Anyway, this is for fermenting my veggies. I am growing a lot of veggies in the yard, and so I am looking for different ways to further their lifespan so that I can eat them longer. And I discovered over winter fermenting everything. So fermented cabbage, aka sauerkraut, is crazy easy to make. Fermenting your food is crazy easy to do. You just have to do a little bit of math and then voila. So I was talking to him, Greg, about fermenting all the things, and he says, oh, do you have a fermentation crock? And I said, what? What is that? No, I use mason jars and blah, 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 blah. So he decided he was going to make me one. This is a fermentation crock. It's very cool. There's your lid. The lip for the lid is pretty interesting. This is so if you forget to burp your ferment. If you don't know about fermentation, fermentation is lactic basilica. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It creates, as the vegetables ferment in the water and salt brine, it makes gas, and gas rises, and it needs to escape the container that you're doing it in, or that you're fermenting it in. And if so, for instance, my mason jars that I use, if I forget to open it up, let the gas release, and then close it back up, it could explode. I mean, people say that happens, but what's more likely when people say explode is there will be so much pressure that it will force the water, the brine, out the top of the lid, and you could have a mess. Well, these crock people made this lip, so if you are not on top of it, it'll catch in here, so you won't make a mess. I think that's pretty cool. Another thing about fermentation is it's an anaerobic process, as in no oxygen. The bacteria that we need for this process that is good for us and good for our guts, it can't have any oxygen to perform, right? So let me strike that. Let me go back the other way and address it from the bad bacteria needs oxygen to ruin your fermentation. So you need to keep all of your veggies submerged completely. Otherwise, chances are you could grow some nasty stuff that could get you sick. As long as you keep your stuff below the surface and it's the right amount of salt, you're perfect. Well, Greg, knowing his stuff, so you have to weigh the veggies down. And I've been using, Miller bought me weights to put in my mason jars. But for a while there, I was using stones wrapped in plastic wrap. It worked. It wasn't perfect. Well, these people, I'd say these people because this is a process that's probably hundreds of years old. This, he fired when he made this. It fits, so I don't want to, I'll break it if I try to do both. But it fits in here. Oh! Exact. Can I do this without? You know I'm clumsy. So the water can escape through the holes, or at least press up. And then this, and it's cut in pieces so you can get it in there and get it out easily. And you just hold that down, and it holds it just below the surface of the brine. What? He made this for me. It's very exciting. So I wanted to share that with you because I don't know when this will be up. It won't be up for a while on my Page the Farmer page channel, but he just gave this to me today because it just came out of the kiln yesterday morning, so he gave it to me and I wanted to show it to you since I was videotaping. Isn't it pretty? I told him to surprise me with the the glaze, and I think he did a beautiful job. And look at the details that he put in here. So Greg LaPlaca, I'll put that down at the bottom if I haven't already. He does so many cool things. He does a lot. So go check him out. All right then, I think I'm gonna leave that there. I don't know if I have much to talk about today other than what I've shown you. I'm getting ready to go to Lake George, so I have lists to make and food shopping to do and muffins to bake because that's what Jack loves. He loves my muffins. Which I probably will because Jack will be there, but I think I will take some video on Lake George, and I'll share that with you over on my page, the farmer page. Okay, until next time, guys, happy knitting, and I will see you later. Be safe, be well, and be happy. Bye.